So Mr. Wang Xinhui is the General Manager of Standardization and Industrial Relations in charge of technology innovation. He's the Vice President of ZTE Corporation, and since 2006, he's been focused on advanced radio access technology research and standardization with over 20 published papers and 50 granted patents. That's definitely master inventor time right there. The team under his leadership works in over 100 international, regional, domestic standardization organizations, alliances, consortia, and open source communities of significant prominence. So let's give him a warm welcome as he shares his insights on bridging the last mile of the digital transformation using artificial intelligence.
Okay. Thank you. I do need a couple of times to do some makeup. Thank you for waiting me. Thank you, Neil. You know, thinks this guy is a godfather of Alpha Good. Okay, it's my pleasure to meet you face to face. You know, ZTE, we've been supporting this Alpha Good event for 3 consecutive years since 2021. Since 2020, now it's my first time to meet you face to face. That's good. Thank you. And by the way, I will thank you, Jennifer. It's great. Okay, you just organized this event with sufficient diversity. We just heard a very nice speech from this Professor Jonah. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is a bit poor, but anyway, you are doing something, you know, from this health, from this prevention. That's great. Okay, but I'm as an engineer, as technical guys, I want to show something from different angle. See, and then before I start, I just want to have a little, I'll say, next one. Good. Okay. Yeah, a little self-introduction. As many of you have known that ZTE Corporation, you know, I've been working in this industry for more than 25 years. 23 out of these 25 years, I'm working for this company, ZTE Corporation, and we are a company founded in 1985. We are still 72 years to 100-year company. Okay, so we have around 74,000 employees around the world, and we are serving 2 billion subscribers around the world in 160 countries. Given, you know, we still have a mission to connect the 2.7 billion guys unconnected. So what we're doing for the 2 million is not that enough. So which means we have a lot of things to do in the next time. So, you know, today I want to share with some experience the company is doing for this AI things, along with this digital transformation. First, I would like to say something about this SDG. Everybody knows this SDG goals, and especially plus very nice speech Madam Secretary General had this morning in the main session. That was fantastic. People all know this sustainable development goals, 17 goals. That's for sure. But you know, at least from my perspective, from my personal perspective, how can we do something as a tech company to facilitate the achievement of these goals? Which means technology, innovation, responsibility. The 3 words are in our minds. So the principle is we are do our best to have some technical evolution, do some innovation with some, you know, quite reliable, quite sufficient products. With this one, we build a very nice infrastructure. On top of that, we have platform, we have applications. With all those things, we can, I would say, join it together, make a, I would say, better world, to aiming for this SDG goals achievements. This is basically our principle. I don't want to go through every single details. And then next one is something like quite technical. Okay, I just want to have quite high level understandings on this picture. Normally, if you want to have a system, we call this systematic architecture to have this digital platform, digital infrastructure. You got to construct this with 3 different layers, at least 3 different layers. The bottom one, we call this network and cloud, which consists of a lot of equipments. For instance, use 5G or LTE networks, so many AGVs, so many sensors, even some cloud computing networks, everything over there. And on top of this, I would say the middle layer, layer 2. Layer 2 is something like a platform. It's an integrated platform. You got to integrate all those different hardwares into a whole system, make it quite easier for the develop on the top 3 layer, on 3 layer, to do some applications which can do something good for the human being, for society. So this is called, I would say, digitalization platform. And on top, it's app. Everyone knows we have mobile apps around there, and we have a lot of vertical apps, which may not be seen quite easily in everyday life, but in the verticals, they're using this app every day to facilitate their production. This is basically our understanding on how can we construct this digital digital platform. Next, it's something like a network autonomy things. The point is, we have the bottom layer, consists of different kind of, I would say, dummy hardwares. They're not intelligent. But our mission, our task is to inject some intelligent ingredients into these things, make them can work more efficiently and more smartly, but in a good way. Good way means you got to do something which is good for the human being, not in opposite. So basically, this is the idea of this autonomous network on platform. And in addition to all this very nice concept, nice idea, and we have some practices, I would say, people love to learn something from the power of a good example. Yes, there are examples. So many verticals, chemical, heavy industry, a lot of things. I just want to pick up one of the things to share with everybody, which is called a AI-assisted quantity inspection. We have a 5G assisted factory in Nanjing province, which is close to Shanghai. We're actually doing something like we manufacture 5G equipment based on AI-assisted 5G technology. With quite advanced, I would say, production streamline. There's one, I would say, one quite important part of this production, which is called quantity inspection. The conventional way to do this quantity inspection is we have hundreds of engineers working on their desktop, check with some equipment, check the quantity of this very small component, which is as small as half of a nail, and they're doing this every day with their eyes, with their knowledge in their mind. This is a conventional way. Now we just invent something with AI and 5G. So the innovation way looks like this way. Okay, we have a camera on this, I would say, on these little things. We take high resolution pictures every second, even every second, 10 or 20 high resolution pictures, and we just instantly send all these high resolution pictures to the cloud through 5G network. And then in the cloud, there is I would say, huge capability of calculation. They can compare this, I would say, real-time pictures of the real, I would say, component with the sample picture, see if there's some difference, and do some calculation. When the algorithm sees, oh, it's not good enough, and then they will deliver a command on downlink to the machine, saying, oh, it's not good enough, just throw it. Okay, just throw it away. All these things should be done automatically and in milliseconds manner. So if you go to real factory, you can see this one goes really fast, and every good things goes the left one. Some failure or some malfunctioned components go to the right side one. So this essentially improves the productivity, that's for sure, and this saves money for the company. But to me, this is not all. More importantly is all these engineers. Think about this. All these guys, 20-something or 30-something, they be sitting there 8 hours a day, check this small component, as small as your half nail, every day. How could they improve their life quality? How could they improve their skills, have a better life? With this kind of AI assistance, they just, I would say, transformed it to be I would say, inspection vision algorithm engineer. They can stay in a very nice lab, working on these very innovative things. See, how can we move this? How can we improve these things much faster and much more efficient? So this, I would say, dramatically changed their lives. They're not sitting there all the way. They stay in the lab, do some very advanced technology, do some very advanced algorithms, thinking and doing and implementing by the machine. This is something I would say really, really meaningful, at least from my point of view, change their lives. So this is one example I want to show you. Another one is not about heavy industry, it's not about chemical, just about how can we just help the city, help the government help all these organizations, communities, to help to safeguard our life. We have a lot of examples. For instance, we have gas explosion monitoring. We have water pollution monitoring. A lot of things. One of the example is we had I would say it's a real instance in city in China, and all this gas pipeline
Ladies and
on the water.
gentlemen, the main stage will be starting now. If you can make your way to the auditorium, thank you.
Thank you. I have 5 minutes. Great. Okay. And all this gas pipeline on the ground, you cannot imagine. You can dig it out every day and check the pressure, check temperature, check humidity. It's not going to happen. So we just input a lot of sensors on the ground with the pipeline, and that one automatically collect these parameters of temperature, of pressure, of humidity, and then send this to the base stations on the ground. It has to go through this, I would say, quite high penetration loss, because you can imagine a cup of soil on top of this one absorbs the radio signal. So we have a quite high sensitive receive in the base station. It receives a signal, and then, okay, just business as usual, it sends to the cloud. There's algorithm, there's computing power to check all these parameters, seeing is everything okay or something wrong in that part or in this part. If something is wrong, and then they send a command automatically to engineer. Come on, you gotta go that way. There's a leakage over there. You gotta do this as soon as possible. So this, I would say, is quite a high efficient and automatic way to do something for the, I would say, for the maintenance of our city, for our everyday life. This is what we just experienced, what we just implement for good. In this sense, AI works as looks like a brain, because we have to collect hundreds of millions of different parameters. With some conventional algorithms, you are not able to find the real leakage. But with this AI-assisted technology, you can do something, for instance, machine learning with some comparison based on this historical things in this part or that part, and then make a comprehensive, I would say, conclusion, saying this one is bad, this one is good. This is what AI is doing some good for our everyday life. So, and then last, I want to share my views on how could AI further improve, and what are something we need to do. Apart of all these technology things, I just want to have something from different angle. AI is becoming like jack of all trades. It knows everything. You can speak to ChatGPT, see, hey, may I have a very nice restaurant in just 5 kilometers away? Yes, they can do this, okay? But we just want this to be a master of every single piece. We cannot just count on attainment on ChatGPT, on this huge big model. We just want this one to do something good for our productivity, for our society, for our world. So in this case, we just want to make sure AI can be, I would say, penetrated to a lot of vertical usages, doing some quite specific improvement or trainings for their productivity, for their, I would say, outcomes of their industry. This is the first thing I just want to share with you. Another one is the AI open source. AI open source means, I'm not sure if you have already heard about this. There are at least more than 80 big models in China. Every tech firm, including the company I'm working for, okay, we just announced we have this big data model, this one is quite good enough, and we're competing each other. But to me, at least to me, okay, it's not my company's perspective, but my personal perspective, is this really needed? Are we competing each other? See who is the best, who can work faster, who can make more money? At least to me, it's not, I would say, the top priority. The top priority is see how we can join together to make a universal, much powerful big model which can be adopted by different sectors of the human industry. For instance, the medical guys, you can use this one, some chemical guys can use this one. This is something I'm looking at. So in this case, we got to find an innovative way to do these things. There's no government, for instance, United Nations cannot all the average tech companies stop doing these things. We got to do something together. No, it's not a good way. But luckily, we have an open source community, which has been developed all over the 2 decades. So if we can put some, our source code of our big model into this open source community, and then we let everybody in the world to share this, no matter you are in Europe, in China, or in Africa. You can just simply download this big model with this, I would say, reasonable capability power, do what you want for the training, for the outcomes of this airway. So in this case, open source, I would say, it's a must to do something for the human beings. And last but not least, AI ethics. I would say I've been doing some experiment with this huge model in ZTE. And I learned something by some outcomes doing by the other companies. To be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. With this, I would say, with this huge model, with this quite powerful computing power, with this more than 175 billion parameters supported big model, no one can know what exactly happens in the AI training, in the AI thinking. No one can do this. 170 billion parameters, no one can know this. So which means the process of this AI thinking is not predictable. It's not controllable. In this case, so the fundamental question is, how can we make sure this one is doing something good for us, not the opposite? The answer is policy, regulation. We have an internationally harmonized platform. For instance, just like ITU or whatever your nation recognized platform, we stick together. We make a globally harmonized view how we can regulate this AI. Make sure this one is doing us for good, not killing us in the future. So with this, I just conclude my presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you.